In this video, you'll learn Power Pivot Essentials. If you've ever been asked to pull and analyze data from multiple Excel sheets, Power Pivot is the solution. Section 1. What Power Pivot does. Power Pivot lets you combine multiple Excel tables, create relationships between them, and build pivot tables using more than one table, while regular pivot tables are limited to one table. Power Pivot lets you work with a proper data model. Now let's have a look at our data model that we'll be using. Section 2, the data model. So we'll be working with 3 different sheets. The first sheet is a user role application, which contains information about the users and which applications they can access. The second sheet is a user function. This sheet contains the IDs and the function of the user, like operator, admin, supervisor. And the third one is a training sheet, which tracks whether users completed their required training. I have added all the information in this one sheet to explain the connections. You'll notice that user ID appears in both the training sheet and the user application sheet. This relationship allows us to connect each user to their training records. You'll see that role ID exists in both the user function sheet and the user role application sheet. That's how we connect each user to their role, like operator, admin, or supervisor. Those shared fields are what make relationships possible. Section 3. Enable Power Pivot. Now before starting, let's make sure that Power Pivot is enabled. Go to File, Options, Add-ins, then Manage COM Add-ins, Go, then check Microsoft Power Pivot and press OK. Now the Power Pivot tab appears in the ribbon. Section 4. Import the data. Let's first create a new Excel file. Navigate to Power Pivot, click on Manage, then Get External Data, select From Other Sources, select Excel File, next select the file. In the Friendly Connection name field, rename it to the Excel sheet you want to link. Then select Use First Row as Headers, click on Next, then click on Finish. Now repeat these steps for the remaining sheets. Section 5. Create relationships. Great, now we have imported all our data in our data model. Now it's time to create relationships. Switch to Diagram View. In the Diagram View, you will see our 3 different Excel sheets. Now to create the relationships, we'll drag the user ID from the user role application to the user ID from the training sheet. Next, drag the role ID from the user role application sheet to the role ID from the user function sheet. Great, now everything is connected. Instead of 3 different data sets, we now have one large data set with different relationships. Section 6. Pull role into training. The main benefit of using Power Pivot is that we can now link data from different tables. For example, we can add another column that connects the required training for each function. We do this by typing the following formula: equals related user function function name. Now every training record knows whether it belongs to an operator, admin, or supervisor. Section 7. Create a measure. Great, now let's create a measure, which is similar to formulas. Now let's navigate to a cell and count the completed rows. For the measure, use the following formula. Calculate count rows training status equals completed. You might be wondering what the formula does. Well, it looks at the training table, filters down to only rows where the training status equals completed, and then counts how many rows are left. Section 8. Build the pivot table. Great, now it's time to insert a pivot table. But let's first exit the Power Pivot window. Then insert a pivot table from our data model. Notice that we now have options to include fields from each Excel sheet. Now let's find out who exactly are missing training. From the training sheet, drag the function name, the training name, and completion date to the rows section. Next, add the username from the user role application sheet to the rows section. As you can see, the table looks cluttered. Let's clean the table up a bit. Navigate to Design, Port Layout, Show Tablet Form, and remove the grand totals. Great! Now we have a clean table where you can see exactly who is missing a specific training. Here we can see that the data security and safety training still needs to be completed by all members. If Power Pivot felt complicated before, I hope this video showed you it's actually quite simple. Once your relationships are set up, everything else becomes easier. One quick note, Power Pivot is only available for Windows, but Mac users can achieve the same results using Power Query. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll show you in the next video how to use Power Query.